What's going on, family? Let's get started. Um, Pretty much gonna start with a little bit of background. Um, like I said, this is gonna be real raw, real personal. So I appreciate you just taking the time to rock with me. Um, Grew up in a family of four. Uh, Kind of the modern day family, I would say. Stepdad, mom, half brother. You feel what I'm saying? But I was always the black sheep. I always felt different. They were all left-handed. I was right. They all shared the same last name. I didn't. So just from that physical standpoint, for me, things always felt off. Um, but that bleeds into the topic of 5D chess or five-dimensional chess, because that's what we're playing. Every move that we make affects different levels, and that's why the dissension or the bickering amongst one another is pretty frivolous. It's pointless. Because there's a bit of truth in everything. You just have to separate the extra carbs, for lack of a better phrase. You just gotta separate all the extra noise from it and just boil it down to the facts. For whatever reason, coming up, I could never see past tomorrow. If that makes any sense. I was never good at planning things. I was never one to be able to tell you what I'm doing 6 months from now, 5 months from now. The typical questions that the world asks of you. I never understood that concept. Because if I walk out the house tomorrow and I get hit by a bus, it was for naught. And that's not to say that I live in fear, because I don't. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen regardless of whether I'm ready for it or not. I said that to say I've always had a comfort or an acceptance of death. I knew that it was something that had to happen. I don't know how or why, but I knew the only thing that I could do in this life was survive. I'm gonna end it on this. In the second grade, we went around the class and asked the typical question that you ask a 7 or 8-year-old. What do you want to be when you grow up? And of course, you get your typical answers: firefighter, policeman, astronaut. And for whatever reason, my answer was alive. I've always had a fascination with the end and apocalyptic themed books, movies, songs, whatever the case may be. I never understood why, but I think I know. Stay tuned for the next episode.